the greatest logo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Public Comment with John Harrold. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. We're going to continue our political season with two candidates. Mark will introduce the candidates. Mark?
First, I'd like to introduce Michael O'Gara, a fellow Deputy District Attorney running for office number
94.
94. We'll give him a chance to tell us more about him. As you know, we had 4 candidates on last week, and we were going to have 2 more, but one's involved in the penalty phase of a special circumstance case. Pat Connolly, we recommend that you vote for him when the time comes. Maybe he'll be on next week. And Michael Jessic, I don't know why he couldn't make it, but he called to let us know he couldn't make it, and maybe we'll see him next week. And of course, we have our candidate we had on a couple weeks ago vying against David Dreyer to take over the seat. Mr. Sardo is here once again to let us know what's going on in his campaign. And
again, one of the things that we're going to do is ask the candidates that have been on previously to come on and tell us how the campaigns are going. People, again, don't understand. They see names on a ballot and they think that somebody just appeared there. Well, they didn't. In order to get your name on the ballot, you have to work extremely hard. Now I can see why Mr. Sardo is doing as well as he's doing, because his lovely wife is here with him. Yes. And the most important thing for any candidate, I'm speaking from experience, is to have a good spouse. If your spouse backs you up, that's half of it right there. Now again, I first of all want to apologize for Mark's legs. Mark is on vacation, and so being the person that he is, he immediately got into the vacation mode, and so we decided that the best way to make sure people paid everything else on the screen is by having his legs there. Because this way, the one part you won't look at is Mark's legs, and you'll look at everything else. But Sonny, if you can give us a little bit update on what you've been doing since you were on here last.
I can tell you the campaign is going along very well. Of course, at this time, we have absentee ballots going out here this weekend. And so we are appealing to the absentee ballot voters, the Republicans, the declined estates. You'll see that there are only 2 names on that ballot. One is the conservative Republican, the other is the, at best, moderate Republican. So I would be the first. I'd be Sonny Sardo.
The conservative Republican adhering to conservative Republican values.
That's right. Now, I don't know if I told you this last time, but there was a letter to the editor from David Dreyer's camp, one of his supporters, I should say. And he said that I sounded Goldwater-esque. And I guess to show you how far these people have drifted from the Republican Party and from the roots of our party and our principles. And I'll tell you, anytime someone wants to compare me to Barry Goldwater, I'll wear that as a badge of courage and honor. That's fine with me. But that's part of one of the themes in this campaign. Besides the borders, which is an ongoing issue, and David has a very checkered voting record regarding the security of this nation, but it is restoring this Republican Party. We are the party of Reagan. We are the party of Barry Goldwater is right. And we need to get back to our Republican principles. We had the House, we had the Senate, we had the U.S. presidency, and people like David Dreyer squandered it all. And now we're losing seat after seat after seat. The only way to regain these seats is to go back to our Republican principles.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think people vote automatically for the incumbent?
They have incumbent fever. They're familiar with the incumbent. What can I say? But however, the longer you're in office, sometimes it does work against you because you stack up more things.
Well, you mentioned the absentee ballots, and this will be something we'll talk to you about also, because one of the most important things in California elections now are the absentee ballots.
Oh, is it?
A lot of the elections, you can literally tell how an election is going the night of the counting of the ballots, because they normally do the absentee ballots first.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, and I think other people have, that how the absentee ballots go, usually that's how the election goes.
And my opponent is just as aware of this as I am, and all candidates these days. Yeah, as a candidate, Mike, pay attention to the absentee ballots by all means. And of course, we're going to get the votes at the polls too. But we're getting very good vibes this time around, and we just feel very good about this. We're looking for victory on June 4th.
Well, also, one of the things that's important for people to understand is that they have these what are called slate mailers. And a lot of times, I'm sure we're starting to get them. There's going to be a lot of slate mailers out, and these slate mailers are going to say from the Republican this, from the Republican that, or from the Democratic this or the Democratic that. Every single time people see that, they have to be careful, don't they?
Oh, yes. I mean, the Republican citizens for better government, whatever that is, you know. But people,
they might not even be Republican.
They may not.
Well, actually, what they are a lot of times
are you
is
clever.
Oftentimes.
Except the
like Rush Limbaugh.
We talk about the little asterisks.
Right.
That's the key, because after most of these names, You're going to see a little asterisk, and then at the bottom you're going to see the asterisk, and you're going to see paid for to be on the slate mailer.
Exactly.
They weren't on there because they were supporting their ideology. They're not on there because they back their value systems. They're on there because they paid to be on there.
Exactly right.
Now, we have invited David Dreyer on, and we've also invited Mr. Warner.
When is David showing up? I challenged David Dreyer to a debate some weeks ago. I told you this last time, and he has not responded yet.
All incumbents dodge debates, don't they?
Well, they have no reason to debate. The best thing they can do is just stay in their little high place and try to ignore the opposition.
But see, that's sort of scary, isn't it? I mean, the thing that's really sad is what happened to Lincoln and Douglas. I mean, our politics were always known by the great orators that some of our greatest politicians have been before in the past. Now it seems what you're going to be known for is who's the best at collecting money.
Yeah, well, yeah, and David has, I think, well over $3 million. We don't quite have that much, but we're raising money is right. But I will say this campaign, speaking about debates, we stick to the issues, to his voting record. That is what I'm concerned about. That is why he's being challenged. As I told you before, pushing things like CAFTA and on the floor of the House calling for the free flow of human capital across the border. Those are the words of David Dreyer. It's in the Congressional record. And with these border situations that we have today and the illegal aliens.
You know about this freeway from Mexico through to Canada? Have you heard that?
The Superhighway?
The Superhighway with the
North
ports.
American Union?
We would lose all the ports in LA because they go into Mexico and avoid a lot of the inspection and stuff like that.
I've told people from a couple of years ago, and I've been in this a few times now, I am determined to unseat David Dreyer, and because of his voting record, and I hope there are 15 or 20 other campaigns like mine across this nation. But yeah, you Google things like the Security and Prosperity Partnership, SPP.gov. It's a U.S. Chamber of Commerce website, and see what it tells you, folks. These are not conspiracy theories. The SPP is a real thing. It's taking place. The Superhighway is a real thing that is taking place. There's lots of information out there.
Well, again, I'd like to thank you for coming by, and it's important, people, you'll see at the top of the screen on top of public comment, what is that number we have there, Sonny?
That's the commercial now. Of course, we have a website. Go to sardoforcongress.org. Call us at 1-888-55-SARDO. We have a ton of volunteers. We need a ton more people to make telephone calls for us to the absentee voters, people to walk their precincts. We have thousands of yard signs, so come by and get a few dozen. Just give us a call at the office, go to the website.
Is that phone number on your website?
Which number are you looking
No,
at?
no,
sardoforcongress.org.
No, the phone number is not on the screen, but it's on the website.
That's what we're saying. If you go to the website, you'll get
Go to the
which
website,
number.
1-888-55-SARDO. I'm looking for your vote. Right now, I'm looking for the absentee votes in this district. Republican and declined to state.
All right, thank you very much
Thank you, and God
for
bless
coming
you.
on.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.
And
Barry...
get a pair of trousers.
Barry Goldwater went to Roswell, Area 51, and tried to get in, and they wouldn't let him in. Did you ever hear that story?
They won't let a lot of people.
All right.
God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much.
Take care. Don't fall off.
All right, thank you very much. Again, we'll have that number on for a little bit, and if you want to contact him, you can contact him.